Hi everyone, it's Nathara, and today I'm going to be going over the Encore Lightchase Palm Cage. She is gorgeous. This is one of the first 6-star sets I really love. I did 392 pulls on this whenever it came out, so I've doubled up on everything and I've unlocked the posture and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and get into this. The hair is super cool. It's a very long ponytail, very pretty. The dress, of course, is gorgeous. I love the puppet sock. The shoes are cute. The rings, I like that it's so many clutter rings. I just wish it was on both hands because it's only on one hand, which is kind of sad. I do like these bracelets though. I also do understand why there's not rings on the other hand because I do have this puppet glove, but maybe one day we'll get the option to change our rings over depending on the hand, just get the option to pick if we want it on the left or right hand. I think that would be fairly easy to do. We get a little crown for a hat, and this hair accessory, I love it because it's got a lot of options, more than you'd think. These earrings, I use these so much. They're so cute. Of course, we have this big coat. It's lovely. I love the ribbons. These hands are definitely one of my favorite pieces in this suit. Oh my gosh, they are so cool. And then we get a little tattoo. This one's cool because it does circle around the body, which I will show you later. And here she is in all her standard dyes. Absolutely lovely. She is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And I love that in the default palette, you get a gold, a white, and a red. So unless you're just really one of the persons who likes to dye everything all black, you're pretty set. Unless you want those specific flavors of pink and blue, I guess. If you just don't need the black. It's a very good set for that. And here's our 5-star suit, Plume Prayer. She is cute. I love this hair because you can put hats on it and it doesn't chop off the little ponytails because they're so low. The dress is cute. I do love this arm ribbon. I use this thing a lot, and of course this crystal arm is super cool. The necklace, I do like it. I think it only has 3 dye slots. Also this face mask ribbon, gorgeous. I love it. I love the lace on it. The tattoo, again, so because it's a tattoo and it's on the center of the back. Just don't use it. This thing I use religiously. I've got it starlighted. I love it so much. The sock, I do like that it is a one-sided sock. It's very good for tall boots. And speaking of the boots, these are super cool. I love all the draping leather in them and all the buckles and everything. So cool. And here she is, just in all of her standard dyes. Our 4-star set, I have not used it at all. I've not used any piece from this, I don't think. We do have a dress, bunny choir. Actually, I think I did use this in an Alice in Wonderland fit because clearly the rabbit with the monocle just fits perfectly. The bracelet is there. The earrings are cute. They're little bunnies. I just don't use them that much. The necklace is chains and ribbons, but I think the ribbons are metallic. The socks are cute. They do fit with the Alice theme. And the shoes, they are super so-so for me. And here she is, all on. Not a bad suit, obviously. I just don't use it too often. For our loose 6-star pieces, we get these leather gloves. I love these because they are not only 2 different styles on each hand, but you've got the finger openings and the lace that goes over your forearm. Super cool gloves. We also get these shoes. I am not excited about these. These look like 5-star shoes to me. They kind of just look like a sister version of the 4-star shoes right here, if you see what I'm saying. They just kind of look a little too similar. And then we get these earrings. I do like these earrings. I just wish they weren't 6 stars because they're the resources to unlock the palettes and everything are really expensive. Our limited pieces, we get the SpongeBob outfit, this nice dress, these earrings, this necklace. I don't like this necklace. These little facial things, I have a problem with these. These socks, I don't really use these. I don't have any palettes unlocked for them. And this little lightning bolt choker, pretty cute. For our makeup, we get these amazing contacts. I love these contacts. I also super love these contacts. I use these so much. I don't really use this facial paint too much. I do like this piece, and I like that we can move it around now. And this lipstick I do like, but I have an issue with it on darker dolls. It's got a weird like lightning outline around it. These contacts are cool. They do fit like the Alice theme of the 4-star suit, which is what I think they were going for. But there's a lot of colors in this contact, and I don't really use them too often because of that, because I'm more of a duotoned color palette girl, and this one has a lot of colors in it, and I just don't really make outfits for it to match. For our ally, we do get Sean's Tale of Heartbreak, and I adore that in the ally card they use the suit that it comes with. We don't really actually get that all that often, and so I love it all the more that they included that. For our decom, we get this cute dress. I clearly already have mine dyed, but she is adorable. I love it. We also get this overcoat. I do believe this is in crossbody. I also really like this one because I like to have all of these like big ribbony coats and everything. And of course this hair accessory, I love it so much, especially now that we can scale it up. I've actually used this as a face mask before, where I put the pieces over the eyes. Super fun. For our items, we do have this furniture piece, paper castle. I clearly did not get it, and I don't plan to. It's not like a super big castle, it's like a little miniature one. I think I've seen a picture of that one before, and I was just like, yeah, I'll pass. And then we have this avatar frame inspiration cutting. It's just their little dolls and everything. You do have this avatar confession night, the chat bubble, cow meow. Oh wait, oh my gosh, do you guys see that? Meow is spelt wrong. Anyway, moving on. The dynamic photo frame Rosie Dew, the cute effect Cheese Sleep, and then the effect Love Under Umbrella, and of course the scene Promise of Sea. This one is very bright and oceany, and they picked the weirdest outfit for her to display in whenever she's just standing there on top of the water. I mean, this would have been a great time to teaser shot the mermaid set, in my opinion. But that was back then, and right now all they wanted to use was Aphrodite, but that's okay. Anyway, this scene's super lovely, and I will show it in more depth later. And I did get all the wind veins, so with that, what was it, $3.92, I was able to get all the decom stuff, all the veins, and the scene. I wasn't able to get anything else. I do still have 128 leftover coins though, in case you were curious about that. So here's our default view of Sean's Tale of Heartbreak card. I quite like that the angle is like this and that he's like laying down. And here's the little version of his evolved version, and then here's the big version. I, of course, love this. I love that the effort that they put into these cards. It's always so gorgeous. And I wish the art style of like the story mode actually was more like this as well. And the boys always look so much better in these cards than they do in the story mode, where they look like, you know, paper puppets with like the joints that have like the hinge buttons. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh my gosh, anyway, I'm gonna go off on a tangent. I'm gonna leave it at that. For evolving him, you do get this All Is Well tie, which is awesome because we don't have too many ties. We do have that one tie that was a loose item from something, but it's a 6-star and that's really expensive. So this one being a 5-star is nice, but it's also really expensive because you have to pull a dupe of him to even be able to get it. It is a necklace piece. I do have mine dyed right now. It only has 2 dye slots, unfortunately. The first of which is going to be the base of the tie, and the second is going to be the 2 stripes and the metalwork that goes around the collar. So I'm going to go one by one for each piece because I don't want you all to get distracted by the whole suit together. So this is our hair. She's a very long ponytail, no alternative styles. She does have 3 dye slots, making her fully dyeable. Your first dye slot is going to be your base color. Your second is going to be the ombre that comes down the back. You've got some pieces around the face and a little streak up here. And then your third dye slot is actually going to be the metal ring up here, which I love. Also, the ponytail's not fully attached. It's like one of those hairstyles where they use a hair extension and then attach it with metal rings. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but I think that's really cool. Next up, we have our dress, and she does have 18 dye slots. A lot of dye slots, but I love it. And she is fully dyeable. We have no issues, and I can't remember if the dye slots have been updated for this one. I don't think it has been. Maybe it has these last 16, 17, and 18 because it's after the sparkles. But let's go ahead and get into this. Dye slot 1, dye slot 2, dye slot 3, dye slot 4, dye slot 5, dye slot 6, dye slot 7, dye slot 8, dye slot 9, dye slot number 10, dye slot 11, dye slot 12, dye slot 13, 14, 15 is that bottom like ring that shoots out, 16 is an ombre that ties with slot 3, dye slot 17, and 18. So she's got a lot of dye slots. There's so many different options and I just love it. And most of them, I think the only thing that could be sort of even nitpicky for me is the fact that, where is it? The metalwork of the suit right here and all of these like hemming edges. I don't know if those are supposed to be metal as well, but maybe it is metal. Maybe I don't have an issue with it. No, because like, see these little eye things, I guess they look like they're stitching or embroidery almost. So that is the only issue. It does look like metal and the lining are tied together, but honestly, that's such a weird nitpick because I think it looks fine in this instance. Oh wow, that's an interesting color scheme. But yeah, this is such a gorgeous dress. I like this pink, blue, and brown too. That's really pretty. Ooh, girl, that's so pretty. Also, I love that if you look at the underside of the dress, like where the velvet is, because of the light effects, it has like this glowing, watery, like mystical effect. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. They really went all in on this one. I love this dress. And I don't actually think it needs an alternative style. I know recently they've been giving a lot of the 6-star dresses alternative styles, but this one's really pretty all on its own. And here is our coat in its original dye, and here she is all black, so she is fully dyeable. You cannot get rid of those light particles though if you were curious about that. Our first dye slot is going to be your main tulle ribbon. Our second is going to be that second ribbon and then like the embroidery and stitching on the first one, as well as the metal work that holds the crystals onto the big ribbon. Dye slot 3, dye slot 4, dye slot 5, and dye slot 6. And here is our sock. She's absolutely lovely and she's fully dyeable. Our first dye slot is the top half of the leg. Our second is the metalwork. Our third are the crystals right here. Our fourth is like some of the detailing that you can make a marble effect with, which I really, really love. Our fifth is like the base layer of that leg. And our sixth is the marbled effect. So it's going to be 6 and 4 if you want to create the same marbled effect. I don't know why those are so separated. As for our shoes, they are super pretty. They've got these little windows on the back that open up constantly to show you a little flower on the inside. Super gorgeous. And they are fully dyeable. Our first dye slot is going to be your metalwork, which includes the tip of the toe. Your second is going to be the gems and the bottom of the shoe, which is actually a crystal. And it does look like there is a bit of an ombre on the cloth part of the shoe. Slot 3 is more of those crystals. Slot 4, you've got your glass windows and then that one ombre. So let me see if I can show you. Maybe, actually, yeah, no, it's changing it just a bit. Not too much, it's really light. And slot 5 is the leaves on those flowers in the back of the shoe. Here is our little crown. She is so cute and so tiny compared to like the other tiaras that we get. Fully dyeable though. Our first dye slot, our second, our third, and our fourth. I love that most of them are separate except for, oh gosh, the last one where they have a few of those crystals and then the pearls connected. And here is our hair accessory. This is one of my favorite ways they have done a hair accessory. So here it is all by itself, and if you put on the hair, of course you're going to have an exclusive hairstyle piece with it. And if you take that off, you just lose like all of the stuff that goes all the way down the ponytail, which makes sense. I wouldn't want that personally floating around in my outfit. But what I really like about this accessory is that you can double up essentially. So slot number 3 on your hair accessories is the twirly bun part, the hair sticks, and the exclusive part. You can take that off. Now what I really like is that slot 4 is actually that twirly part. I have mine adjusted right now, and you can have that, and then you can also have the hair sticks. Now this is really good because if you put this piece on and then you go to scale it up, it does that weird thing where it raises it into the sky instead of like scaling it up properly. So you can, if you do like these chains and everything, which I actually do like, you can still have your curly hair bun thing and your hair sticks. And what's even better is that you can scale these hair sticks up and they don't fly up into the sky like how slot number 3 did. And it's the same with the curly bun. They don't fly up into the sky like a bunch of weirdos. So I do like that this hairpiece comes with these options. It provides a lot of creativity and it doesn't punish us basically for having the piece. Alright, again, so here it is in its original dye, and here she is all black. Again, she is fully dyeable. Our first dye slot is going to be your metalwork. Our second is going to be these crystals all over the place, even on the back. Slot 3 is going to be even more crystals for some customability. And slot 4 is kind of like those little pearly beads on the hair sticks, and then some of the minor crystals and the pearls on the back. The only thing I don't like is this one like centerpiece right here in the middle of the forehead. It doesn't dye accurately. It has like that weird oil effect, and I could do without that. So that is my only complaint with the hair accessory. Besides that, I really do like that you can double up on those hair pieces. Really fun. And here are our earrings. Again, these are gorgeous pieces, and I personally can't tell that they clip with the pointed ears too much because of all the gems and the jewels and the feathers and everything. They just kind of hide that clipping, so it's not an issue. Here they are all black. Of course you can see that clipping when they're on black, but even then I don't really mind. Your first dye slot is going to be your metalwork. Your second is going to be these gems right here. Your third, your fourth, and your fifth. So it does have an ombre on the feather, and I'll show you that. Let me get a darker color. Doesn't really, the second ombre doesn't really fade. Oh, that's really pretty. I just chose a bad first color, but it can be super pretty. It does still look like it's not giving you too much to work with on that second color. I think just that like almost indigo-y purple makes it look really good. Ooh, that's gorgeous. And here's our bracelets. Again, they are only on one arm. They are fully dyeable though. Dye slot 1 is going to be your metalwork. Dye slot 2 is going to be some of your crystals. And dye slot 3 is going to be those other crystals. And here's our puppet glove. Again, she is just as gorgeous as the puppet leg. I love it so much. Just like the leg, she is fully dyeable. Your first dye slot is going to be that base for the upper arm, and then some of the jewels on the lower arm. Your second is going to be your metalwork. Your third, your fourth, your fifth, and your sixth. Again, a gorgeous piece and super unique. I love how lacquered they look. Like, oh, it's so pretty. And again, here are our rings. They are only on one side, the same side as the bracelet, but they are fully dyeable. Your first dye slot is going to be your metalwork. Your second are these crystals on the ring. And your third are like the little pearls that are on the fingertips. A really cute concept. Also this one crystal and these tiny little crystals right here. And lastly, we have our hands, the floating piece. I love these. Clearly I have them starlighted. Super gorgeous piece. They are fully dyeable, and as you can tell, you can get rid of those strings if you starlight them. Our first die slot is going to be the hands. Our second is going to be those metal bracelets. And our third is going to be the light particles and the strings. And again, you can get rid of the strings if you starlight them. If you don't, you can still see them right there. But if you scoot, let me scooch in and show you. If you starlight them, you can get them to fully disappear. However, this does not work with the hands, oddly enough. They are starlighted and they're still black. But I do like that you can get rid of those strings and just have those hands. And of course, because we can move stuff around now, you can like rotate these and move them around. And I've actually had them like this a few times on my outfits. I just think it looks really cool. Like the hands are about to grab her. You know, it's just neat. I love this item. And lastly, we have our tattoo. It is a moving one. It actually goes along with the coat, if you did not notice that. And it circles around the upper body. So it'll shoot from here and it'll go around and then come off the back side as well. And let me put the coat on so you can see what I'm talking about. Where is she? There she is. So you see the flow of the birds on the back ribbon. It matches kind of like the angles at which the birds go across the chest. So I like that they tied that in with one another. I just wish the tattoo was dyeable so it didn't still have that kind of amber glow to it, because whenever you dye the coat a different color, it doesn't really match. So it would be cool if maybe one day tattoos are dyeable as well. Overall, a super, super gorgeous outfit, and there's just so many different ways I've used this dress. I had to stop myself from making different outfits with it for the like little display thing that I do. And here is the posture for it. If there's no handhelds or anything, so it will always activate like this. It's just her putting the bird back in the bird cage and sitting down a little bit. And if you have the hands on, the idol does change to do these little like twirl instead. So you do have different options with the idol if you've got the posture on, depending if you've got the floating object on. And for our Plume Prayer set, I am going to go piece by piece again, so you're not distracted by the suit as a whole. So with our hair, we do have two dye slots. The first of which is going to be the top part, and the second is going to be the little ombre, and the fade on it is huge, and I really do appreciate that. A very cute hairstyle, and again, you can put hats on with this and it's not going to chop your ponytails off because they're low. And here is our dress, Plume Prayer. She does only have 5 dye slots, but black and white is in your default palette, so that's nice. She is fully dyeable. Here's our first dye slot, our second, our third, which I love, and look at how all the feathers are done right here. I love it, it's so cute. The only thing I don't like is that the metalwork and the embroidery is done on the same slot. And our slot 4 is gonna be kind of like tied to slot 3, but like, look, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, you can make such wonderful little color combinations with it. And slot 5 is gonna be our light particles, and you can see a bit of it right here on the chest. It does give off a nice little glow. A bit more simple compared to some of the other 5-star dresses, but again, she's also a very short dress, so I don't expect too much from this one, but I do like what we got. Now for our sock, we also do get 3 dye slots. This one I use with the like thigh-high boots, like multiple pairs of them, not just the ones that come with this set. But our first dye slot is going to be your sheer tight, the second is going to be the leather band, and the third is your buckle. And here are our shoes. I absolutely love these shoes. I starlighted them. I love them so much. They are fully dyeable. Your first dye slot is going to be your leather base, your second, your third, and your fourth, all your metal work. So super nice. And here is our little face ribbon. She is fully dyeable. Your first dye slot is going to be the base of the ribbon. Your second is the sheerness of the face ribbon itself. Let me see if I can scooch you in so you can see. Our third are these cute little side ribbons. And our fourth is the pearls. So I love that everything is separate, and given what we're working with right here, having 4 dye slots and have them all being like unique is a win. And here's our necklace. It does have 4 dye slots. Our first is going to be the leather base, our second, our third, and our fourth. A very customizable piece, and I love that the different layers are all like not connected, so you can make it even more customizable. They don't really showcase it very well, and it's hard to tell how customizable it is through the display of this item when you're first looking at the outfit, because like this thing can be super colorful, and I just feel like it doesn't get shown that ability to be brightly colored or anything like that, you know? And unless you have the piece, you won't ever know that by looking at it. So we also have this bracelet, which is ribbon. I also have it star-lighted. It only has 1 dye slot, but I am completely okay with that. And I love that the little ribbons are always like floating around. Super cute. And our glove is Crystal Dream. Now, this piece I do have a problem with. It is gorgeous though. I love the way that it is styled as a 3D asset and everything. But here's what it looks like dyed base black. So it is very much dependent on being like a light object almost. I do like it with the lighter colors. It looks really pretty, but if you want a darker color, you're not really going to get that darker color because there's so many other light effects going on with it. And even if you starlight it, it does not get like black. You can still see all of those light particles. So if you just wanted a black crystal arm, you are super out of luck. But I do like the animation of the light particle that drifts throughout. It's just a shame that it has all of it in there and you can't toggle it off on demand, because I would love to be able to pair it with this sock from the vampire set. Like this crystal right here also has a very light centered thing in it if you were to like this part right here, but because you can starlight this, you can actually get rid of that. And so I would really like to be able to have the light particles on the sleeve have their own dye slot so that you could do the same thing to that and just make it actually black, you know? Next we have our tail. Again, it's another item that I have starlighted because I like it so much. She is fully dyeable. There is some like silver glitter in here, but it's actually kind of hard to notice. So your first dye slot is going to be your base. Your second is going to be an ombre, and let me show you kind of what that ombre looks like. So you can make some really pretty color combinations. Like I said, I use this thing so much. Slot 3 is going to be your decorative glitter, and slot 4 is going to be your light particles. Again, I love this piece. I've always adored it since it first came out. It's great. The only thing I wish is that we'll get the ability to move tails around one day, because I would love to be able to move this up and put it on my head and use it as a headdress. I think that would be so freaking cool, but I don't know if they'll ever let that happen. And here is our tattoo. This tattoo's on your back, and you just, I don't know, I never really look at the back of my doll, so I never see it, so I just like, I never care about back tattoos. Overall, a very cute suit with really unique pieces, like the crystal arm, and of course the ribbon bracelet and the tail feathers, super fun, and of course the shoes are great shoes. As for our bunny choir 4-star suit, again, she's not bad or anything. She's very cute. I just don't use her all that often, not my style, and not really anything I would ever use. Like I've said multiple times, I'm more of a fantasy person, and this one just doesn't have too much fantasy like built into it. But good news, black and white is there available for you. And she is fully dyeable from what I can tell. Here's our first dye slot, our second, our third, and our fourth is the metalwork up here. For socks, we have 3 dye slots. The first is your base, your second, and your third are the little metal bunnies. For shoes, there's 3 dye slots. You get the base, the ribbon on the toe, and then your little crystal metal buckles, and then the 1 pearl. For earrings, there's 2 dye slots. The first is going to be your metal bunnies, and your second is the earring metal part. For a necklace, there's 2 dye slots. The first is your chain, and the second are your bows, and they are metal bows. For our bracelet, which is actually pretty cute, the first is going to be that big metal band, the second is going to be that chain link bracelet, and the third is going to be that little bunny. I do like that they incorporated the bunny with the bow tie on a lot of the outfit. I think that's adorable. And here are our gloves, mist tracking. I have not unlocked the palette for these because they gave me black for free, which was their first mistake, because I can use this as a white and I've never needed these in red. It does have 2 dye slots, making them fully dyeable. The first dye slot is going to be the main color of your gloves, and then the second is actually going to be this tiny little cord right here. It kind of looks like paracord a little bit, but yeah, that's all it is. Not the most noticeable detail, but at least it's there. And here are our Lotus Haze shoes. I have never once used these. They are not my preference, however, they are fully dyeable. Your first dye slot is the base, your second is the ribbon part, and your third is the buckle. Again, they just remind me too much of the 4-star shoe that comes on this banner with the 4-star suit, and I don't know, there's too many other options I'd rather use over this 6-star pair. And here are earrings, Berry Sway. There are 2 dye slots on them, making them fully dyeable. The first dye slot is going to be the little balls on them, and the second is going to be your metalwork. I have not unlocked the palette for these clearly, but I do have them unlocked to so I can get to that neon green, because I wanted them to look like little slime balls in an outfit that I did once, and I thought it was really cute. And here is our SpongeBob dress. She is not fully dyeable. Another reason I do not use this one. I would love to be able to dye the metalwork on that, and for this being a 5-star suit, the fact that you cannot dye the metalwork on this is a crime. Your first dye slot is the shorts, your second is the top, your third is the tie. And here's our other 5-star dress on the banner, Night Glamour. She is full of sparkles, but she has a wonderful ombre. It is tied with the second and the first slot, so you can have a very nice color gradient. Your third is the band around your waist, and your fourth is the band around your neck. An odd choice to make, to have that be its own piece, but at least it's more customizable. And here's our lingering autumn earrings. They are fully dyeable. Your first dye slot is going to be the bottom half of that metal, and your second is going to be the top half, and it is sort of like an ombre. I've never used these clearly, so I'd never noticed it had an ombre built into them, but I think that's pretty cool. And here's our necklace, Bear Glory. She's fully dyeable, but not fully usable, at least not for me. I'm not one for these types of accessories. Your first is the ribbon, your second is your metalwork, and your third is the pearls, and then the inner parts of that bear piece. And here is our 5-star piece, Pure Portrait. They are supposed to resemble that one piercing, but unfortunately this is kind of it's got that clear coating over the top of the item, so you can't dye it the color you want to. It just kind of has a gray cast. Let me check Starlight really quick. So even with starlighting it, it doesn't get all that black. Let me check red. No, it just looks off. It's too light. It's not giving me the red that I want it to be. I can still tell that it's got that like weird cast over it, and that's the only problem I have with this piece, is that I can't get it to be the color that I want it to be because it has that cast on it. And here are our socks, Tangled Maze. They have 2 dye slots, the first of which is going to be the sheer part, and the second is going to be that like squiggling little line, and you cannot dye that glitter. It does look like it's going to be white. And here's our Electric Maze necklace. There's only 2 dye slots, but it is fully dyeable. Your first dye slot is going to be the, I don't even want to say it's leather, it's more like plasticky looking. And your second is going to be the metalwork. An okay piece, I just don't use it. And here's our decom dress, Morning Star. She's super cute. Love all the details on her, and I like that it's not super crazy detailed either. Like, you know, how some of them are just like, oh my gosh, there's a lot going on with that, and they've got like light particles fluttering about, and you're just like, oh, it's so much. This one, it's pretty good. She is not fully dyeable though, as you can see these giant pearls, and of course all of the white glitter. Our first dye slot, our second, our third, our fourth, our fifth, which is the ombre that ties with this one, so you can have some pretty color combinations. Our sixth, our seventh. Oh, that's what it is. Those pearls on the bottom are like light balls. Yeah. Super pretty. And our eighth. A very pretty dress. This is probably one of my more liked decom dresses that they've come out with. And here's our Cloud Overflow ribbons. Again, this is in the crossbody section. There is 4 dye slots to it, making it fully dyeable, but as you can see, there is glitter in the one sheer part. Our first dye slot is going to be the cloth ribbon. The second is going to be the embroidery on that, and it is so pretty. Our third is that sheer ribbon, and our fourth is the little pearls on the cloth ribbon. Now, what I really like about this is that you can pair it with like your other ribbony coats and everything. I like to pair it with, there she is, Dancing Lotus. So I like to have these dyed like the same. Let me show you. I'm very aware that having all of these ribbons is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I really do like having them paired together. I think they're so pretty. And last but not least, we have our Cyan Butterfly hair accessory. I love this one a lot too. Clearly, I've starlighted it. There's, like, you know, the insect wings, how it has that iridescent look to it. It does have that, but again, I don't mind it because it is insect wings and I think it matches really well. Your first dye slot is going to be an ombre on the wings. Your second is going to be the crystals and the pearls on the wings. And your third is going to be that other half of the ombre. Why they separated the two, I'll never know. But the ombre is really pretty and I like all the glitter mixed in. And again, I'm just going to fangirl over this piece because I like it so much. And of course, you can scale them up so you can actually pretend to have big droopy butterfly wings, because you can actually kind of drop them down. I mean, if you turn around, you'll see them. Okay, I'll stop now before I just like shove down your throat how much I like this piece. And here's our contacts, Tear of Ocean. I love that these have these weird like octopus pupils. These are so cool. I wish they would give us more weird pupils like this. And even though on the dark sclera it has that kind of like outer glow ring, I still think they look really good. Sorry, it is a bit hard to see on my dolls. I do tend to have their eyes raised a bit inside their head instead of having them like looking down, which leads me into Otherworld Dream, and I adore these contacts. I use these so much. I love that they're like little spinny swirls, and like I use them in like all of my black and white outfits. I don't know if anybody has noticed that. You probably have. It may be obnoxious, but like I love these contacts, and we don't have very many black and white contacts. And here is our Key to Dreams contacts. On the dark sclera, you can see that glow that they give off, but it looks fine in my opinion because it looks like the purple glow, and it matches like the glow of the nebula inside her eye. I do wish that these were not static. I wish they had some movement to them. And here is our facial paint, Sprite's Smoke. Again, it's not bad. I just don't use it that often. I just never find a reason to use this one over a different one. That could be part of my problem. It looks really good on the darker tone though. And and still noticeable. This isn't the lightest shade, but it is a lighter shade. Let me just toss on the light shade so you can see. So you do lose some of those minor details, but that's to be expected, especially if you've been having a super pale doll this entire time. You know automatically just by looking at something if you're going to be able to see it or not on your doll. And here is our dried shadow facial paint. It is just a butterfly right in the center of your face, but you can move it around, which is good. I like to put it like over the lips because, so this is just a standard black lipstick, and not standard, it's the Sea of No Return. You can actually move this one down to right here. And I like to have it over the lips because it does kind of look like the Spider Walk lipstick. So if you don't have that one, I do believe this is from the Morgana set. Maybe, I can't really remember. Just kidding, it is from the Tide Melody. It's from that makeup set. But yeah, I like to fake it with that other one because there's like a weird outline on the spider legs right here that I don't like. And here's our lipstick Gilt Flame. The problem I have with this one is you can see on the outer part of the lips, there's like a bit of like, the lipstick is overdrawn a bit and you can tell. And I just don't like it on my doll personally, but this does come in 4 shades, and what it does is it changes the lower lip. You don't get to change the top part, at least not like fully. It does ombre a bit on the edge, as you can tell, but that top lip is going to stay gold for the most part. But you can drop it down and kind of fade it out a little bit, which is what I tend to do to get rid of that extra highlight. And of course you can overlay or not if you want. But here is our first die slot all the way up, and all the way down, second down, and all the way up, third up, and all the way down, fourth down, and all the way up. Not a terrible lipstick, I just don't like how it looks on any of the darker dolls. Actually, let me show you a far shot on the darkest doll, because maybe sometimes showing it up so close isn't the best way to look at it. I don't know, it kind of looks like a mustache because the top lip is that gold and because it's got that highlight on the Cupid's bow. I don't know, I can't unsee it. It just does not, it's not a lipstick for me. Even on my tone doll right here, like, it doesn't look good. It almost looks like she doesn't have an upper lip. Like if I'm backed away, something about it like looks like she's sucking on her upper lip a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Here's our decom scene, Promise of Sea as a whole. We have some big cliffs off to the back, a very half set of pillars, a couple little islands of sand, and these nice little plant areas right here with some flowers and bushes and lots of sparkles in the back, and these big purple corally plants. I can't remember how far back we can actually go. With our camera we can actually get pretty far back, and I actually do like this view from all the way back here. I don't think our doll can get back here actually. Look at that pillar right there. That pillar does not look the best. I think that's a picture of a pillar. We got the wiggly trees. I think the mountains might be 3D assets. The clouds are definitely still, which I don't mind. I wish we could get items like this in home. That way we don't have to build it all by ourselves. That'd be nice. Ooh, goodness gracious. Alright, so the puzzle area in this thing is massive. My doll is all the way to the back, so you can go really far back, and you can go really far. Like, she just, of course it stops right where I need it to. Like, she's right behind that pillar set right there. So you can be over here on this island. You can't go all the way over, but I mean, you can also come up really far. And just for reference, there's our origin point, and if you come straight up, you will stop right about there. I know the camera, the wide cam distorts it, but I have to distort it to be able to fit all this in. So the puzzleable area is really big, and look at that sink. It's great. I really do like it. I don't know why she's got that weird shadow on her head though. It looks like that might be an issue if you're trying to take pictures. I don't remember that being there, but it could be a cause from the ocean maybe. Something's going on with that, and I don't remember that. That might have to be a bug that needs to be replaced. But our camera can actually not go under the water, but our doll can go down quite far. Still, I think that's cute. Maybe if you had a hat on her, you wouldn't be able to see that line. If you put the motions on though, you can actually see a bit underneath the water. Let me loop it so you can see what's under there, though I don't know if you'd ever want to do that because then you're just getting a lot of the cutoff of the 3D assets and everything. Now these sparkles right here are very, very bright, and especially if you were to put up halo and everything, it's super bright. For some reason, maybe I'm just like, my eyes are tired, but it almost looks like the scene is naturally too dark for the doll and too bright for the pale doll, if you see what I'm saying. Like, maybe, again, the color adjustment on my screen just isn't right. Or it's probably because I'm staring at my computer in the middle of the night, and that could be causing an issue, and my eyes are just super tired. But I have never really used doll tones outside of my medium tone doll in this scene, so I haven't played too much with it and haven't therefore come across any issues with any of my other dolls. But here is the lighting compared to the regular blue scene, and then like some clothes and some skin. This is just the regular skin, it's not the 3.0 skin. So there's a bit of color casting onto your doll in the Promise of the Sea scene, which is not awful. It kind of does make sense. You are outside, it's very bright and sunny, but some people may not like that, so I wanted to show that that does happen. But here's our lighting from the front. From the right, I really don't like it. From the back, she looks super glossy. I do have her glossy skin like factor all the way up though, so that could be it. But right now she's looking extra glossy, you know? And from the left, again, I don't like this one either. All of the side views I'm not fond of. I only do shots from the front in this scene, which is a shame because I would like to be able to get some of the other assets in there at like different angles and everything. I wish that the 3D assets came up on the sandbars a little bit more because I really like sand and water right next to each other too, and I want to have like some sort of like an oasis without all the flowers, because for me the flowers right here don't really make too much sense. I do like the coral and everything. Maybe if they had done a coral arrangement inside of these, I'd like it a bit better. But for me personally, and the way I would want to use this scene, it does not involve the flowers. So that's just a bummer for me, but I know some people are really gonna like it and like the aesthetic of it. But that is everything I have for the Palm Cage Light Chase. I do hope you found this helpful and useful in deciding if you would like to pull on it, continue pulling on it, or not pull on it at all and wait for the next light chase. We do have another 6-star light chase coming up in, what is it? In 4 days. I think it'll be Tuesday night or Wednesday if you are not the type to stay up until the butt crack of midnight to wait for the light chases and just pull on them instantly. I'm not like that unless I'm really obsessed. Most of the time I just wait until Wednesday and then I get it all done, you know, like this isn't worth my lost sleep, that sort of thing. I think they should be releasing what we are going to get for that next 6 stars soon, so keep an eye on their socials, or if you're in any of the Discord channels, I'm sure you've seen what's coming up next through like spoilers and everything. But if you've got any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments and I will try and get back to them. Or if you want any clarification on anything as well, please let me know. I will be happy to explore that with you. But that's all I have for now, so I will talk to you later. Bye bye!